All righty, good morning, everyone. This is the pre-bid conference for IFB-24-24899, the construction of the Armdale, Gunn Highway, and Palm River Fire Station replacements. My name is Sybil Tucker. I'm the procurement analyst for this project. And for the record, this meeting is being recorded and has been publicly noticed. Today's meeting is being held by means of communication media technology. And active participation will be for everyone in attendance. Provisions have been made for any member of the public desiring to have access to view the meeting, attend the meeting. The meeting will also be made available via recording after the meeting has ended. As a matter of housekeeping for everyone in attendance, please make sure your audio is muted unless you are speaking. And if you can also just have your camera off as well. It just helps with the recording. So just want to state that bidders are cautioned that only a written addendum may change the bid document. Any statements or comments made by the county at this meeting which might appear to modify the bid document shall be considered by bidders as only a tentative position of the county. In order for these statements to be considered as an actual change to the solicitation, they must be published in a written addendum. So also want to advise you that the cone of silence is in effect. Bidders should not contact any employees other than those identified in the cone of silence clause in the bid document. All questions should be submitted in writing via the vendor discussions in Bonfire. Make sure that you submit your questions in a timely fashion. The deadline for questions is 14 days from the date of the site visit, which is tomorrow. And again, this information is in the solicitation document. So the deadline for question is 14 days from the date of the site visit. The site visit is scheduled for tomorrow. So again, please submit your questions as early as you possibly can and submit them through the vendor discussions in Bonfire. At this time, I just want to have our county staff members to introduce themselves. We're not going to have the attendees, but only our county staff members, and we'll start with Mansour, just so you know who's attending from the county. Mansour, if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. This is Mansour Yazdi with Hillsborough County Public Works Architecture Services Department, and I'm going to be a project manager on this project.
Bill.
And I'm Bill Hand, the manager of architecture services with Hillsborough County. Brian.
I'm Brian. Hello, I'm Brian Laverty, project manager, capital construction, Hillsborough County.
Diana.
Diana Walker, special projects coordinator with Minority and Small Business Program.
Do we have any other staff, county
John
staff
Thompson
members?
with Wilder Architects.
Yes, John Thompson, Wilder Architecture, architect of record for the stations, working for the county on these stations.
Any other staff members? Okay, I presume not. So again, if you're just joining, if you can, we're asking that you drop your name and your company's name in the chat feature. That is our attendance record, way of keeping the attendance or having an attendance record. Again, just drop your name and your company's name in the chat feature. So I am going to share my screen so that we can, I can just show you the solicitation in Bonfire. So let me share. Can you see my screen? And is it showing Bonfire?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, so this is what it looks like in Bonfire. And again, this is an information session, basically. We're going to just give a briefing of the project, highlight some key points, and we will just talk about the site visit and so forth. Questions should be sent in writing. This is not a question and answer session. We are recording this so that it can be made available to everyone, so that everyone has an opportunity to hear what was stated here, but this is not going to be a full-on question and answer session. So just be mindful of that. We have received some questions already. I have already submitted them to the project manager for a response. Again, the sooner you get your questions in, the sooner that we can get the responses out. But just be mindful that it may take a few days before the questions are provided, the responses to the questions are provided. So those responses will either go out by way of an addendum, if an addendum is warranted, based on the questions, or through the public notice section in Bonfire. So the list of questions and responses will be provided, again, either through an addendum, if an addendum is necessary, or through the public notice section in Bonfire. So again, this is a briefing of the project, and I'm showing how it looks in Bonfire. Currently, the deadline for the bid deadline is July the 30th at 2 p.m. All bids will be submitted electronically through Bonfire. So if you're not familiar with it, make sure you're going through it, making sure you get familiar with how to use Bonfire, how to submit your bids in Bonfire. We will not accept paper bids, emailed bids, nothing of that nature. Only submitted through Bonfire. Again, the deadline for the bid is July 30th at 2 p.m. Must be submitted by that time because the system shuts off at 2. So no bids will be accepted after that time. The information for the deadlines are posted here in the important events. We have the site visit that is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9:30. It's for the Armdale Fire Station only. And we'll touch on that shortly as far as the other fire station locations. But currently, the Armdale Fire Station site visit is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9:30. Again, the dates are here for all of the important deadlines. I did mention before that, again, to be given consideration, questions and requests for interpretation must be received no later than 14 calendar days either after the date of solicitation is issued in Bonfire, the site visit, or pre-bid conference, whichever is later. And all of this is stated in the solicitation document, paragraph 4.6. In this case, the site visit is the latter of the options. So that is when the 14 calendar days starts from the date of the site visit, which is scheduled for tomorrow. Please keep that in mind. All of your documents are here. You can download them all, save them to your computer. But they are a lot of documents, so make sure you download all of them. There is a document for every fire station, so keep that in mind as well. Now, some of the contract administration forms, there's only one of them because there are contract administration forms, so you don't need them right now. If it's labeled contract administrations, there are only one of those forms. If as far as the some of the other forms, we didn't identify or upload multiples because you only need to submit one of those, specifically the Appendix A, the certification regarding lobbying. All of the other forms, they are designated per fire station, so just keep that in mind. All of the forms are there. Be mindful of the ones that you need to submit with your bid. It says it, submit with offer, and it's also stated here in the requested information. So if it's here, that means you need to submit it. However, some of them do say optional. It does say optional, but if you would like to, you could submit it. The ones that are required states that it's required. So keep that in mind. We have here what we call the document takers. This is basically your plan holders list. You can go here and see who has looked at this project. That is what this is for. You can see, you can also if you click on view, it shows the information for that company. If you want to reach out to them, if you're a sub and you're looking to network with a prime, information is here for you. So you can browse the list, click on view, and find the information and reach out to those individuals as necessary. As you scroll down the list, you'll see there's a section that says interested subcontractors. So if you are a sub and you're interested in this project, you provide some of the services that the primes may need your services for, please enter your information here. This is a good tool for subcontracting opportunities. It's a good tool for the primes to find subs, for the subs to connect with the primes. That is what this is here for. Again, put your information here and you can connect either way with the prime or the sub. So be mindful that this feature is here as well in Bonfire. Public notices. This is where I will post anything related to the bid that everyone is privy to. I sent out a reminder through the public notices. I've sent out a message when something was updated. This is where I will post the responses to the questions. This is where I will also provide notice of an addendum. So be mindful of the public notices section. Vendor discussions. This is where you will send in your questions. Please send in your questions here. If you can try to compile all your questions and send them in at once, that would be helpful. That would be helpful to get them all in one at once in one space. However, if that's not possible, that's okay too, but just send your questions in through the vendor discussions section. Okay. So before we get into any of the documents, I want to turn the meeting over to Diana Walker so that she can discuss the MBE participation goal. Diana.
Thank you, Sybil. For this project, there is a 20% MBE participation goal. One of the documents that Sybil was pointing out on Bonfire that will need to be submitted at the time of bid is the MBE1 form, also known as the subcontractor material supplier list. She's right there pointing at it for you guys. Biggest thing here on the MBE1 form is to include all of the MBEs that you will be using on this project. The goal is for you to achieve a minimum of 20% participation goal based off of your overall bid value. Please ensure that the DM, DWB firms utilized have a current certification and they are registered with Hillsborough County. If you are including a minority certified firm that is certified with another government agency such as Pinellas County, State of Florida, DOT, just to name a few, make sure they are not on our denied, graduated, or previous reciprocal list. They do need to have an eligible current certification, and you will have to provide a copy of their certificate or proof of certification. Along with the MBE1 form, we will also request that you attach letter of intents for each one of those MBEs listed. Failure to complete and submit this documentation with the bid documents may result in the entire bid being rejected. If you have any questions in regards to the MBE1 form, you are in that instance allowed to reach out to our department, the Minority and Small Business Program, and we can work with you on identifying potential subcontractors or verifying their certification status. Firms that have been graduated, denied, or previously received a reciprocal from the county are not eligible. It will not count towards the MBE participation goal. The other document that is included in the bid documents, this one is optional, not required. But if you are doing your due diligence and your good faith efforts to identify potential MBE subcontractors, you can submit at the time of bid or upon request the good faith efforts document. The good faith effort documents include the form, which is a 9-page document. And the biggest thing here is to provide all supporting backup documentation. If you just complete the form and fill it out and sign it, your points will be very limited. You have to score at least a 70% on the good faith efforts documents for you to be eligible and move forward, at least in regards to our programs review. Once again, this document is one document that you can reach out to our department and we will gladly assist you in completing it or making sure that you have the proper documentation to provide. The good faith efforts can be provided in conjunction with the MBE1 form, but you must submit the MBE1 form even if you don't have any listed MBEs listed on there. Put a note to reference the good faith efforts, but please submit the MBE1 form as well, as that one is a required document. We do have an online Active Directory that can be accessed online under hcfl.gov/MWSBE. And you can access our online directory. That way you can search by commodity codes or key terms for whatever scope of work you are looking for. And once again, you can reach out to our department and we'll gladly assist with any of those reports. And last but not least, our updated list of graduated, reciprocal, and denied firms is also included on that same website link that I just provided. I think that is all I have. Thank you, Sybil.
Thank you. And just want to piggyback off of what Diana said. Please be mindful of the form that needs to be submitted with your bid. You will be submitting one of these for each of the fire stations that you choose to bid on. Or if you're bidding on all of them, you will need to submit one for each fire station. So again, the forms are identified for each fire station. So please keep that in mind as well. Again, you can contact the MBE section of the Economic Development Department if you have questions regarding the MBE goal, the subcontractors, the MBE1 form, the good faith efforts form. You can contact them or Diana without violating the cone of silence. So keep that in mind. She won't be able to answer any questions about the bid itself or specifications or plans or anything of that nature. Only things related to the MBE participation goal. So you can reach out to them for assistance with filling out those forms, finding out if a firm is certified, not certified. Please keep in mind, it is your responsibility to make sure you're listing subs that are certified. It's your responsibility to make sure that you do your due diligence to ensure that they are certified. Because if not, then you could be found, your bid could be rejected or not found non-responsive for not meeting the goal. So this is very important that you do your due diligence when it comes to finding your subs and making sure that they are certified DMDWBEs. Any questions regarding that while Diana is on the call, on the meeting? Any questions? Okay, I'll presume not. So I will now turn the meeting over to Mansour. Mansour, if you want to touch on some important items regarding this bid. You can
Sure.
go do so now.
Sure. Good morning again. The projects, as stated in the solicitation package, we intend to construct 3 different fire stations: Palm River, Gunn Highway, and Armdale Fire Station. All these are replacement stations. And there are approximately 7,220 square foot building, single story, 2-base station, state of the art facility. And so we have a good architects that, we team up engineer that work on these projects. And pretty much we have a good set of plans that, we was advertised through bonfires. So basically what I'm trying to make a point right here is that please look at the special condition of the contract, read through all this, make sure that, you understand the special condition, all the, additive alternates that came with the projects. So that's all I have to say. But if you have any questions, something, please put all your questions in writing, whether bonfire through bonfire, because we are not going to entertain any question by receiving any kind of phone call from your office. And please refrain from contacting any of those our consultants, sub-consultants offices to request any clarifications. So that's what all said. I wish everybody good luck on these projects. They are very exciting projects. We have a good team up, architect and engineers on this project. So we are anxious, excited to move on with these 3 fire stations.
Okay, thank you, Mansour. Just want to touch on the basis for award. So just be mindful that these are bid separately. However, the county reserves the right to award to multiple contractors, award by each site, groups of site, or a total of sites. So one bidder could possibly get all 3 if you bid on all 3 of them, or they could be awarded per site to multiple contractors. So just keep that in mind as you decide whether or not you're going to bid on all of them. You need to make sure that if you bid on all of them, you're able to do the work. If you are to be, because you could possibly be awarded all sites. So keep that in mind. We're not trying to discourage you, but you need to be able to fulfill the contract if you were to be awarded all 3 sites. So the county will determine that based on the bids that come in, how it will be awarded, and we reserve the right to do so, and it is stated here in the document. Also, if you are bidding on either of these sites, you also must provide pricing for the alternates. So you can't just bid on the base bid and not bid the alternates. That's not acceptable. And it's stated here as well that the solicitation does include alternates, and the county may or may not select the alternates, but you do need to provide the pricing. Bidders who fail to provide a price on each option or alternate may be deemed non-responsive and their offer rejected. So it is stated here. Please make sure you read through this document, that you understand what you are bidding on and what the requirements of the bid is. There are allowances. The allowances will be added by the county. You do not need to include the allowances in your bid price. We will add them. So just to be clear, we will be adding the allowances. Do not include them in your bid price. Okay. Also, we have only scheduled a site visit for Armdale because the other sites are open sites, and you can go look at them at your leisure. Is that not correct, Mansour? That is
No, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so we scheduled Armdale because it's not an open site, and we have to provide assistance at the Armdale station. So that is why there's only one site visit scheduled for Armdale on tomorrow morning at 9:30. You can go look at the other site locations at your leisure on your own because they are open sites. Okay. I'll go ahead and ask if there's any questions based on anything that I've gone over so far.
Yeah, Sybil, I would like to add
Mhm.
one more things to this.
Okay.
I encourage all the bidders, potential bidders, please do not wait till last minute send your question in, because we have a special funding. We have absolutely we have a deadline on that. We have to secure the contract awarded by the board to the successful bidder or bidders. By December, we have to have a contract in place. So please do not wait till last minute, send your question, because we don't have intention to extend bid, a few times. We are not, so at one point we're gonna put a stop to that one. So right now, deadline is July 30th for the bid opening. But, like Sybil stated, 14 days before, bid opening, we have to have those questions in, right? Correct me, Sybil?
That is correct. Yes.
Yes. So anyway, please do not wait till last minute send your question. Hope that we're gonna keep extending the bid opening. It's not gonna happen because the deadline we have that is special funding.
I have a question, Sybil.
Okay.
So along those lines, do you guys have a target date to go to the county commissioners for a contract approval so that we can sort of calculate when we might actually need to start this project?
Go ahead, Mansour.
There's a lot of factors, Joe. We cannot decide, the date is going to go to the board. There's a lot of factors we have to consider because, we have to look at the MB package. When we get a review, we have to review it, make sure within the budget, all those things. There's a lot of factors playing this. So there is no such a thing as, when it's going to go to the board. But definitely we have to have a contract during the month of December. We have to
Well, I mean, the bid is
award the
due,
contract. Yes.
the bid is good for, what is it, 90 or 120 days? Which one? I forget who, Hillsborough County.
Is that 90 days, Sybil?
It is 90 days. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so presumably 90 days from the bid date, there's gonna be an award on a contract, because if not, then the bid is no longer valid, right?
Well, I thought it was after the award of the contract. Bid is good, the pricing is good. 90 days from the date project was awarded to the contractor. Is that right, Sybil? It's something we need to clarify through the addendum we will do, Joe.
Yeah, it's in the document. I just can't pinpoint exactly where it is, but it is in this document. So I would suggest that you read through this again for that exact date of when that 90 days start. Can't recall exactly what paragraph it's in, but it is in there. But I mean, of course, like Mansour is saying, we have to get something of these contracts in place by December. So, we would hope that this process would, move seamlessly through as far as the review once the bids come in, but we do have the MBE review. We do have the department review of the
Evaluation,
your references and whatnot to ensure that you are a responsible bidder and able to do the work. So, with that review process, and of course, with us having the board meetings usually twice a month, we have to fall in line of, when those meetings are. So, again, if it's in a best case scenario, we would be hoping to get an award done, by say September or October. But it just depends on if the deadline does get pushed out for some reason. That would push it out as well. We're not anticipating that, but things happen. So we have to just be mindful of anything that can happen along the way. But of course, the goal is to get these awarded sooner than later. So keep that in mind. Any other questions?
Sybil, I wanted to mention that for the inspection tomorrow, Munster, where would they park? We don't want folks to park in the apparatus bay. It's an
Oof.
active fire station.
There's a plenty of room on that side, Wills, on the
Would it be
grass
on the
area.
north side of the property where we
Yeah,
recently demolished the house that is part of the construction site
yeah, they can park
to the
right
north
there.
of the fire station?
Yeah, we will be there. We direct them where to park the cars, you know,
Okay.
on either side, on the side, on the road. Okay,
Just
so
keep in mind, it's an active
yeah.
station and we've got to be careful not to interfere with their operations.
That's correct.
Right, and please try to arrive on time. We have it starting at 9:30. So please try to arrive on time so that we can get started and get in and out, since it is an active station. Any other comments from county staff or any questions from the attendees? Any general questions, I should say. I presume not. Again, just to highlight a few things, currently the bid close date is July 30th. Your questions need to be submitted 14 calendar days after the date of the site visit. Again, no later than 14 days after the date of the site visit. The site visit is tomorrow, so your 14 days will start tomorrow. Again, we have received some questions already. I try to respond back and let you know that I have received your questions and that we are working on them. Again, it does take a little time to get the responses back from the department and from the architect of record. So it may be a few days before the response gets provided to you, but please bear with us. We are working on the responses. Again, your questions should be submitted through this vendor discussion section in Bonfire. And I'll show you where it is again. It's right here, vendor discussions. All notices of any information regarding this project will be submitted or provided through the public notices, and you do get an email. So make sure you're checking your emails. You know, sometimes if you have the wrong person as your contact and they're not, checking their emails, you may not get the notices right away. So make sure your contact person is someone who is checking and receiving the messages in a timely fashion. Make sure they're the appropriate person to receive the notices, because we send them here, the Bonfire sends out the notifications, and you should be getting a notice through your email whenever something gets sent out. And I get notices, I get emails when you send in your questions. So I'm getting an email notice as well. So that's how it works. Bonfire sends out the notice, and then when you send in your question, I get a notice as well. Don't forget about the interested subcontractor section. Add your information if you are a subcontractor interested in providing your services. Don't forget about the document takers section. This is basically your plan holders list. A lot of people will ask for a plan holders list. This is where you go. This is your plan holders list. So all the information that you need is right here in Bonfire. You don't need to request anything from us. Just go right here in Bonfire and browse the list, and you'll be able to see who has reviewed this this bid and who may be interested in bidding. Don't forget to, this is where the bid, let me show you the bid items sheet. This is your where you will be entering your prices. Again, each fire station is identified in this bid sheet, and you must provide a pricing for all of the alternates. I know it's can't see it really well, but this is your bid sheet. So make sure you are providing a price for each item that you are bidding on, for each station that you're bidding on. If you're bidding on all of them, you need to provide a price for each item. If you're only bidding on one station, then you will provide pricing for everything for that station. Any questions before we conclude the meeting? If you joined late and you did not put your information in the chat, please make sure to put your name and your company's name in the chat feature of the meeting. We'd really appreciate it. That's how we're keeping an attendance of who attended the meeting today. Tomorrow, I will have a sign-in sheet at the site visit, so you will be signing in on a sign-in sheet for the site visit. Any other comments or questions before we conclude? Okay, I'm going to presume not. So we want to thank you all for your attendance today, for your interest in this project. Please make sure you read through all of the documents. There's a lot of documents, a lot of information. So please make sure you read through everything carefully, get your questions in, and we're hoping for, successful bids for this project. These are, important stations. We need to get them done, and we just ask that you be mindful of your bids and make sure that you are complying with all of the requirements of the bid. And again, thank you for your time, for your attendance today. And if you're interested in the bid, please make sure to attend the site visit tomorrow. And it's not mandatory. It is not mandatory. However, if you're interested, we advise you to attend. So with that, that will conclude the virtual pre-bid conference for IFB-24-24899. The construction of the Armdale, Gunn Highway, and Palm River Fire Station replacements. Again, thank you all and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.